Tesla Model Y wheel, yoke. Which one is better? Well, we've had the wheel. Now let's give the yoke a shot. Is it better? Is it more comfortable? What are the pros and cons? Stick around for this install and first drive video, and we'll take a look at all those questions. Okay, so I decided to go with the plain black leather. I didn't do anything fancy with the Alcantara. I didn't do the carbon fiber. I just wanted it to look as close to the stock wheel that the other Teslas have as possible. So it is a genuine Tesla part. There's a label inside there. There's also the emblem here with a bunch of numbers. So it is a genuine part that hand show the shape it to be shape of yoke, and I decided to use the airbag that I currently have, so that'll go right into the center there, and I also have to move the buttons over. So I haven't seen too many videos on that, so we'll try and tackle that together. But first thing we need to do is kill the power to the car. Now Handshow says you don't have to remove the power, but I'd feel a lot safer if it was removed and then waiting a couple minutes until the charge has dissipated. So if I do anything wrong while I'm taking the airbag out, it doesn't explode in my face. So let's take a look at the power disconnect on the 2022 Model Y. Okay, if I wanted to get to the battery and disconnect that, I would need to take out these bolts here and here and remove the bio defense weapon filter. I don't think I can access it. It's back in here. I don't know if I can stick my hand down in there. I might be able to do it. I don't think so though. But the other disconnect is here. This will actually kill power to the entire car, including the batteries underneath, as well as the 12 volt. So I think that's the route I'm gonna go. And you see here for the fireman is to cut this wire, because that kills power to the whole car. So okay, due to a slight mishap with the recording of this part, I was unable to undo that connection, so I ended up going for the battery. What I did is I loosened up both bolts for the huge filter that's under there, and just by raising that filter just a little bit, I didn't pull the entire thing out. I was able to get my hand under there, and being that I've already disconnected the battery once before, I kind of knew what I was feeling for. I lifted up on the purple tab, slid back the black part, and then I was able to pull the whole battery connection off the top of it. That's how it is with the new battery style. Okay, in order to remove the airbag, there's two little holes on either side. I'll show you what those holes look like. You need to install an Allen key or a screwdriver or something like that. If you push the right side of the airbag will pop, the left side, and then I think if you push them together, the bottom one pops out. So there's a hole right here. You can see that on camera. There you go. And there's one on either side. So let's give that a shot. Okay, that's the left. Alright, sorry I didn't have you along for the ride. It took way too long, and to just keep recording, my camera was overheating. So I ended up using these two. Seemed to be the best bet for getting the bottom one out, at least. So it's much further in, and you can feel when you're on the spring, and you have that pushback. So you just give it from both sides, just give it a little push. It's a little bit harder than the top two, and then this just comes out like this. Okay, so these are the springs here that you're pushing on. Can't do it right now, but these two springs here, and that's what pops it out. And now this, we have to take out this connection here. This is I've watched a lot of videos on this. You have to get the top and the bottom at the same time, and then you can pull it out. And to do that with your fingernails is pretty tough, but I'm gonna have to put the camera down so I can hold the airbag out of the way. If that's what you're gonna want to do on both of them. Top and bottom. That's it. Pretty easy. That's it, right there, top and bottom. So airbag is out. Okay, set that aside. So all of this has to come out, all the guts here inside. So we're gonna have a fun time looking at that. But first, let's take out that center bolt. Oh, wow. Okay. Seems like the best way to do this is horizontally like this across. Make sure it's seated in all the way because it goes in further than it looks like it does. And then just kind of get up and put your body weight into this. So it definitely was hard, but I guess the airbag was more tedious and this was more physically demanding. So they were both difficult in their own way. Here's the bolt. So in here you have 4 Torx screws that are T25s. So add that to the list of things you'll need for this install. And let's go ahead and try and take those out. Okay, I have my Torx 10 and let's disconnect this here. Worst comes to worst, if I didn't need to do this, it's just 4 screws, put it right back. But I think this all has to come out. Even on the yoke, it has to come out because I think this is just going to take its place. So this comes off. Okay. And that gives us access to this connection here. Okay. This connection here is going to be for this connection here, is going to go into there, and this will give us the heated steering wheel. But we're going to have to take this cover off, take these off, just like we did on here, so we can just transfer the whole guts over. Which is nice. You get to keep your steering wheels. You get to keep your scroll wheels that are metal on the inside here. So that's nice. I probably would have done this anyway. It gives you access. That's it. It's just nothing to press. It just pulls. And here you go. One wheel done. One yoke to go. This is going to go right here. So there's 4 Torx screws on this, and this whole centerpiece will come out just like it did on the other one. And we're getting close. Now, if I didn't say this before, make yourself a list of the tools that you're going to need. You're going to need the Torx 25, the 10. You're going to need needle nose pliers, and the 10mm driver, the male part of a socket. So yeah, I think that. And then you're going to need 2 screwdrivers or Allen keys to come up into the sides to release the airbag. To release the airbag, it's these two springs here. So when you come in, you're actually pushing these together. So that's what pops the airbag out. Okay, now for putting this back on. I set the torque wrench to 66 foot-pounds. It's supposed to be 90 Newton meters. I believe that's what it's called, but I don't know. There's no 90 Newton. There's a Newton meter scale on here, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at exactly. So, I mean, it's a 9.7. It's like close to where I'm at. Anyway, I put it on 66 foot-pounds, which is about the conversion, and I've heard that even that is really difficult to achieve. So I'm gonna go as tight as I can, and if I don't quite hit the proper torque, I think it's gonna be good enough. There we go. We got it. I'm sure you guys heard that in the video. That's the click that we were looking for. So we know that it's torqued down to the proper tightness. You don't want your steering wheel to fall off. Now, I'm going to connect everything back up. There have been reports of the horn going off once you get it back in. If that's the case, it's supposed to stop after a minute or so. I'll make sure I cut away or lower the volume if that does happen. All right, that horn did go off for, I don't know, it felt like an hour, but it was probably just about a minute or so. Okay, so as every other YouTuber has commented, the openness definitely feels like something's missing, but having full view of this screen is really, these two things go hand in hand. So don't forget, if you want a Yoke from Handshow or the screen, I have my my discount code in the description below. But yeah, these two go hand in hand for sure. So all right, let's go out for a quick drive and kind of see what this feels like. Okay, this is super weird. I think the steering wheel feels a little bit low. So we're just going to go ahead and I think raise it a little bit. Yeah, that's about good. Yeah, I want to be able to rest my right hand here. Here, let me yeah, so I want to be able to rest my right hand here. So yeah, I think that's a good spot. Let's save that. And we'll see. It's very wide. It feels very like it's a lot. Let's go for a drive. Kind of use your thumb to kind of hold it. So I'm thinking for autopilot, resting on the top or on the bottom here would be ideal. And it's nice not to have your hand curved like in the corner of a wheel. This is kind of just flat straight down. This is pretty wild. I love the openness. It's like very airy. I love having access to my screen, full access. I've never seen the whole thing after it was installed. Okay, I don't want to move up. All right. It's very easy to control. I thought it'd be much harder. I'm on standard mode for the driving, so I could also play with that, see if I want it a little bit softer to turn or harder, leave it right where it is. A couple things that we want to keep in mind to do is we want to check the heated steering wheel function. We want to make sure that that's working. So let's go ahead and put on the heated steering wheel. And we also want to make sure that the scroll wheels are also working. So, okay, I know it's controlling that, so that means that this right one is working and this should be volume. That's also working. And the heated steering wheel is working very nicely. I mean, the corners are hot. Really nice. It was a little bit of a tricky install. So getting the airbag out was, you had to have some like finesse, I guess, to get the 3 to pop. And then changing out the guts from the old wheel to the new one, it looks overwhelming, a little bit daunting, but it was okay overall. It was 4 and then 4, so it was 8 screws to take everything out and then swap it back into this. And then loosening the bolt was difficult. That was just pure strength and a little bit of technique. I showed you guys that in the video. Having that bar straight across, really get on top of it. All right, you see, I went up to grab the wheel, so I'm sure I'll be doing that. Let's just drive around this parking lot for a little bit. Yeah, kind of. I mean, one-handed. It's a little weird. If we're gonna make like a U-turn here, I guess. Yeah. All right, so here's what I think. Here's my pros and cons. There's a definite coolness factor. So let's put that in the pro column. I like the idea of having a place to rest my hand on a long drive. Just rest it here, and should just be enough for the autopilot to see that my hands are on the wheel. All right, cons. Cons are, well, it's not a wheel, so you don't have, I used to rest my hand on top a lot. You just like rest my arm, my hand. Making turns, having it slide through your hands when you recover from a turn, yeah, doesn't have that. So that goes. Those are positives for the wheel. If there's any other earth-shattering things I want to talk about, I'll put it in a future video, or once I start getting out there, if I ever get the beta again, I'll talk about it on my beta drives. And if you like this kind of an install, hit that subscribe button. I'll be doing some more things. I believe next might be the front opener, but might be a video or two in between then and now. So if you want to see how to install the front opener with the touch of the screen, please hit that subscribe button. Give this a thumbs up if you found this helpful. If you have any questions on the install, put it in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to help you guys out. And as always, drive safe.